A team of 13 Polar Korean small restaurant personnel who exited to the southward in 2016 were constrained to fly by southward Korean intellect, their officer says. Ho Kong, Illinois said Southward Korea's Yonhap news story agent he had been blackmailed and how his 12 women employees did not aware wherever they were creature undertaken to while they leftward for Seoul. The UN has named for a comprehensive inquiry in the instance. Southward Korea had previous told how the team defected willingly. The small restaurant employees were work at a country-run Polar Korean institution in the Chinatown of Ningbo in 2016 while they leftward for the southward. At the period, a by the government formal in Seoul told the team had begun to mistrust Polar Korean promotion following Observer Southward Korean TV dramas. But in an interviewing published by Yonhap on Saturday, small restaurant officer Ho Kong, Illinois told he had been work in Southward Korea's Domestic Intellect Facility, NIS, who pledged him how he could outdoor a small restaurant if he defected to the southward. He told how while he hesitated, the NIS began to intimidation him. They endangered how except I go to the southward in the employees, they would disclose to the Polar Korean legation how I had company operated in the NIS before later. I had no selection but to do which they said me for, he told. The Joint Nations Specific Speaker on Humane Rights in Polar Korea, Tomas Ocho Quintana, said reporters over the 1 week how several of the female had told they were driven to the southward out of knowledge they were upcoming there and named for an inquiry. Polar Korea is believed to work about 130 restaurants overseas, that ensure a precious resource of overseas exchange, and workers are choose for their customer loyalty. Doubts on the team's breach at first founded 2 months ago while Mr. Ho and 3 of the female, whose many faces were greased and their identities lie, emerging on Southward Korean Canal JTBC and told they were forced in traveling to the southward. One of the female told how Mr. Ho had endangered to report Polar Korean Safety Police Force how the female had been observer Southward Korean TV, a blameworthy crime in the oppressive nation. Seoul's Union Ministry told how the team's accounts would requirement to be verified following the JTBC interviewing was displayed. More than rather than 30,000 Polar Koreans include arriving in the southward above the history too many decades, on to the Southward Korean by the government.